All right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome to a Guy Think Podcast live experience. We are back. Episode, I don't know, 81, 82. It's just getting crazy over here. I just wanted to play a quick clip from The Circle, one of my favorite shows on Netflix. Absolutely love the show. So amazing, so great, so much fun. Very different. It's like real world meets social media. I don't know. If you haven't seen it yet, you got to check it out. Obviously, I know the fans have watched it already, so it's a lot of fun. But I want to say welcome to the live experience. And also do me a favor, follow me on social media, Guy Think Podcast. Check out the website, guythinkpodcast.com, and also subscribe. That helps me grow the show. If you have Apple, 5 stars, please. Much appreciated. Shout out to my sponsors, Hemp Boca, for all your CBD oil needs. Hemp Boca is the #1 stop shop for anything CBD, edibles, massage oils. They have everything. They're amazing. Hempboca.com. And also Deck Masters of South Florida. As I always say, if you have a deck or you want a deck or your backyard looks like shit, it won't anymore. DeckMastersofSouthFlorida.com. And also my latest and greatest sponsor, Bare Knuckle Freak. Check them out. It's the hottest, latest, newest, growing news for bare knuckle news. So if you like bare knuckle fighting, like combat sports, follow Bare Knuckle Freak. Without further ado, I have my guest today, all the way from Hawaii. We have Miranda from The Circle. What's up there?
Hey, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you.
Podcast. In Hawaii, I'm happy to be here too, but
I would much rather be in Hawaii than on the podcast. I'm just saying.
Well, you're welcome to join.
I'm gonna have to fly out there. I gotta get out there. I heard the first thing that you do is get laid when you get out there, so I'm all about it.
Right? Can confirm.
So awesome, baby. I'm so happy to have you on the podcast. We've been chatting for quite some time, so I'm happy that we're getting this show on the road.
We made it happen.
Awesome. So I wanted to ask you, because I'm a fan of the show. I watched it. Actually, funny story, on my Facebook, somehow, some way, I'm friends with Sammy's aunt, and we started talking about The Circle, because she was posting it. And I'm a Netflix junkie, so I keep seeing it, but I'm scrolling past it, and she's talking about it. I'm like, all right, I got to check this out. So I watched it, and then I hit her up, and we were talking, and she's like, yeah, my niece is on it. And so that got me more interested in the show. And then I got sucked in because, alert pops up, and you're like, oh my God, like what's going to happen next? So I wanted to ask you, like, first of all, how did you get involved with Netflix? How did this all begin for you?
To be honest, it was just super random. I had a girlfriend from the East Coast. Someone reached out to her, and she kind of just gave me this spiel. She was like, look, they have casting going on for this. I think it would be perfect for you. Yeah. And so I checked it out, and I was like, you hear reality TV, and you're like, it's going to be something like Jersey Shore or insane or trashy. And it wasn't. So I gave it a shot. I really didn't think it would happen, and I guess I just got lucky.
Oh, that's so cool. So you had to just do like an audition, like as if you were doing an acting role or something like that?
Right, kind of, yeah. Yeah, you pretty much just fill out information. You tape your own little video and tell them what your strategy would be, and then they go from there.
What did you tell them your strategy was?
Pretty much just be myself. I mean, you kind of just pick and choose if you would be yourself or not. And I just had said, I couldn't imagine being somebody else. I'm very confident in who I am. And they liked it.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Not everybody in The Circle liked it, but.
Yeah, I know. I was going to ask you this too, because, from watching the show, did you feel that the people that started from the beginning had an advantage compared to the people that started later on in the show? Because that's what I saw.
I do feel that a little bit. And they would, they probably feel otherwise. But I do, because you have those first group of people and you make that bond, everyone's like, well, they've been with me from the beginning. And it's not really fair, because we all want to be there from the beginning. I feel like it'd be much cooler to just kind of throw everybody in there all at once and then kind of fend for everything, and go from there.
Yeah.
That wasn't the way it goes.
You're right, because like poor Ed and his mom, like they had no chance. Like they were in so late in the game, like everybody already clicked up, people, were already friends and aligned, and it was over. They had too much work to make up for. So yeah, when you got booted, I was like, really? I don't know. I didn't see you going as fast as you did, to be honest with you. Did you?
Me No, I didn't. And actually, I was so surprised because what they didn't show is right before I got voted off, I opened up to Shuby about my family. He was the only other person that I opened up to about my family. And so when he goes, this person opened up to me and they were kind, I was like, okay, maybe it's me. I feel safe. And it wasn't. And I was so confused. At that point, I was just really not expecting it. And they're like, oh, do you have any more emotions behind this? And I was kind of just like, no, because it was bullshit. I don't get it.
Right, exactly.
It was rough. There was a lot of conversations that weren't shown. So it was
okay.
Kind of tough to get like the full feel out of it,
Yeah. And what did you think of you gotta obviously, you're stuck in an apartment and you're just chatting with people online. Like, did you feel it was like a little pushed and fake? Like everybody was being like super kind and super friendly because they want to win,
Absolutely. But they didn't show every other second. I was like, I was the one, being honest and forward and just, open about everything. And I would get so angry. I'm like, they're just tiptoeing around everything. Like, we're in a personal conversation. We can just talk to someone if we want,
Right.
And it was just probably the most frustrating thing. It did feel very fake. And Bill called everyone out. He was like, everybody's fake in here. Like,
he was right, though.
Yeah.
It was very pushed. I got to say, like, I don't know. I'm just from a person watching it, but you don't personally. But I felt like Joey was like a real dude. If anybody had to pick on the show, that's just me, looking in. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
No, he was. And what's so funny is he's just like that in real life. He's always welcoming people with open arms, no matter who's watching or who's listening. And that's what kind of got him to the end. Everybody hated him in the beginning, but you can't hate him because he's so nice, and just loves everybody. Like I said, he's like that in real life. So he's a gem. He was a good find, a good friend.
That's awesome.
Keyword friend in there. Did you hear that for everybody listening?
I was gonna segue into that because you guys probably had the hottest moment on the show with the kiss and everything. Like, so what was up with that?
I mean, it was so great, and we have a connection unlike anything else in this world. It's so beautiful, and we just are there for each other all the time. And there's chemistry and there's everything there. It's just we have our own separate lives, we understand that. And
yeah.
But I mean, I'd rather have him as a friend for life than ruin that,
Oh, that's cool. No, that's really cool.
So good one.
So I wanted to ask you too, like, what was it like for you behind the scenes on the show?
Behind the scenes, I mean, it was stressful, almost boring, and you just want to find something to do with your time, and you just want to talk to everybody all day, every day, but that, just doesn't happen like you think it would. So it was really frustrating, and my eyes were burning from that puzzle. And everyone picking on me to say I wasn't making any progress. I was. It's 1,000 pieces. There's a lot of pieces, It's a lot. So, yeah, it was just trying to find what you should do with your time, locked in a little tiny hot apartment. Like, it was over 100 degrees in there.
Wow. I know. That's great. Yeah. Like, did you have like any body from Netflix that was checking in on you guys and all that good stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They were super accommodating with getting us outside at least once a day for some fresh air, or, checking in to make sure we're okay. So yeah, no, it was good. They tried to make us as comfortable as possible.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what, did you all right, so you've been on the show, obviously you've gotten a lot of exposure. Your Instagram has blown up. You got some really cool, sexy pics on your Instagram. Everybody's going nuts over them. Loving it, by the way. And so, what opportunities have you got now because of the show?
Well, I mean, besides, people reaching out and want me to wear their products or try their products, it's been super cool. But I'm actually moving to LA in April, which I don't really have a plan yet. I just had a few people just express a few opportunities to me, and I just feel like, living in Lake Tahoe, there isn't any opportunity. So I'm going to kind of just throw myself to the wolves and see how it goes and figure out what's out there if I can make something of myself.
Well, you already made something of yourself. So
Thank you. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird being recognized. I was buying pineapples on some random spot the other day, and she was like, "You look so familiar." And I was like, no.
I'm not here to get noticed.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. But again, it's the coolest thing being able to connect with people from around the world. Turkey, Greece, Brazil, like all of it. It's so beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite part.
I got a question from a viewer here. What was your reaction when you found out Rebecca was actually Seaburn?
Man, I actually, so they do like a little rewatching clip almost,
Yeah.
and you get to kind of, see a scene all worked out before it aired at all. And I was not expecting it at all. I was like, my radar was so off. And I
Wow.
went in being like, I know that I'll be able to tell the catfishes, because
Yeah.
my gut is always right. I have the sense. Absolutely not. I was just as surprised as I feel like a lot of other people were. It was something I didn't expect at all. I was sworn up and down that Shuby was the catfish.
Oh, okay.
And he is just this perfect little man. Like,
He is.
I'm so happy that he
He
wasn't
was
the
so
catfish.
cool and nice.
He is. He is so sweet. I love him. I love all of them. It's great.
Did you think there was anybody that was other than Shuby, anybody else that you thought was a catfish?
At first I thought Sammy was. It was like day one. I think I thought she was, and then I just felt this connection with her and was like, "There's no way." I feel like she's being really real because first of all, she put bottles and brains or bottle service and brains, bitches.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I was like,
funny.
so that kind of made me think, that maybe it was a guy trying to be this sexy girl, and put themselves out there, but that's just her spunky personality, and I love it.
Yeah, she seemed pretty real too. Like her, you, Joey, like, and see, she definitely not Seaburn, but Shuby. You guys really seem like like the core. And Chris seemed. I mean, Chris was definitely real. He was totally himself.
He is amazing. I love him so much. He's just a ray of sunshine all day, every day.
So where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Until I was 13, and then I lived in West Virginia for 10 years.
Wow. How was that change going from Massachusetts to West Virginia?
Culture shock. Are you kidding me? I was leaving, and I was pretty much crying, knowing I was going to West Virginia because I was like, they're going to have no teeth, straw shoes. I was so nervous. And then I got there and I called, my childhood best friend, and I was like, they have teeth like some do, and I was like, and they wear shoes. Like, it was such a culture shock, but it was a cool experience, like, and people always ask, they're like, you have an accent. I'm like, what did I say? It depends on if I said something super gangsta, or if I said something country bumpkin, because it's a whole mixture up in there.
Wow. You got the best of both worlds there.
Right? I don't know about that.
So now, I mean, so are you still in West Virginia right now?
No, I live in. I've lived in South Lake Tahoe, California, for 4 years now.
Cool. What was
what?
Yeah, what got you out there? Like, did you just you're like, West Virginia is not for me. I've been here long enough. I want to do something different. Or?
Pretty much. I mean, I'm sure if you watch the show, you know that I don't really have any family attachment.
Yeah, I did.
And I had this opportunity with one of my girlfriends, who I'm actually out on this trip with, and she had lived there and was like, do you want to drive back across the country with me? And I was like, absolutely. And so I did, and I checked it out, and it was probably one of the craziest snowstorms they had ever had, and I still absolutely loved it. So within a couple of months, I'd asked her, she said, my home is open to you. I was like, are you still serious? And as soon as she said yes, I booked a ticket for exactly a month away, and then I just told my boss the next day. I was like, hey, surprise, I'm moving.
Wow.
And he was just like, we're happy for you, I just had to feel like I had to make the move and make the punch, and I did it, and it was the best decision I could have ever done in my life.
Wow, good for you. That's so awesome.
I know. I'm gonna be sad to leaving it. I'm so sad to leave it.
I know. I'm sure. Actually, speaking of your birthday, yesterday was your birthday, and my sponsor is giving you a birthday present. So I wanted to let you know. Yes. So this is from my sponsor, from Hemp Boca. This is a full spectrum massage and anointing oil, CBD oil. It's really cool. It smells like Christmas in a bottle. It's pretty awesome stuff. So
it's better than Christmas.
Yes, it's better than Christmas. Make you feel great. So just let me know whatever PO box you want this sent to. We'll get it sent out to you. But it's really cool stuff. So
that was so thoughtful. I can't wait to try it out.
Yeah, a little birthday gift from a Guy Think Podcast and Hemp Boca.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. So I want to know, what is next for you? What is coming up next? Anything on the horizon? Any sponsorships? Anything coming up at all? Anything you have your eyes on that you want to get involved in?
Not too much. I mean, I did have this opportunity presented to me to um hopefully be a host of a show, which I think would be really, really cool.
You'd be awesome at
But
that.
it hasn't, it hasn't been pitched yet. So as soon as I get out to LA, I'm gonna meet with a guy and talk about it. And I think that would be so cool. I get to showcase my personality a little
Yes.
bit. That would be the ultimate goal. Like I want to be Ellen. I want to be able
I want to
to,
be Ellen too.
right? I just want to give people things and make people happy and find out about their lives and show them to the world. That would be the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah, I think you'll do it. I think you will. You got a great personality. It's so easy to talk to. It's the first time we're talking, and it's just like that's so easy to talk to you. So I think you would be an awesome host. So I want to, your story was very interesting on the podcast. You've been through a lot in your life, and
Absolutely.
one of the things that I really like about you is your positive attitude, how you treat other people. That from what we've seen on the show, you're definitely a genuine person. But for any of my viewers out there, that don't know your story, would you mind just kind of just saying, where you came from and where you are today? Because I think it's very inspiring for people to hear.
Of course, and that's one thing too. People have connected with. They share their stories with me from around the world. A lot of people can relate because it's not something I feel like you see often or that people are comfortable talking about. But yeah, I bounced around between family a lot. From mom to dad, and then crazy things happened with my dad, and my aunt ended up taking in me and my two brothers, and we needed a fresh start. So that's why we actually moved to West Virginia. So she took me and my two brothers all the way to West Virginia, and then situations were not very great there, and I ended up in foster care at 15 years old, which was weird, already bouncing around in different schools every other year, I feel like. So ended up in foster care and was separated from my two brothers and kind of been on my own ever since. But it's, my brothers and I say it all the time, we really wouldn't change a thing. It made us who we are today. And what's amazing, even though we had this hard life and had to kind of grow up ourselves separately, we are all still like one and the same people. We have the same personalities. We just want to give and we want to make people laugh and be comedic. And it was really a beautiful thing. My older brother, actually, when he aged out of foster care, he, having a child of his own, went and got his foster license and pulled my little brother out of foster care and finished raising him.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Wow. And look where you are today. I mean, it's look at you. I mean, it's a testimony of who you are as a person. That's a strong will, a strong mind to grow up the way you did, be positive, and now you found yourself on an awesome show, awesome opportunity. But most importantly, you're touching other people's lives, and that's the number one, above and all.
Exactly.
And you're in Hawaii for your birthday. I mean, awesome stuff. I love it.
I am. I'm so grateful, so thankful. And I tell people all the time, they're just like, how do you come out so positive or, from all those experiences? And it's just like, you can choose to walk out the front door or the back door. There is no in between, that's just it. And I chose to stay positive and be good to people because I never want people to feel how I have felt,
Right.
So that's the way I look at it.
I love it. I got another question from Angel Corchado. What did you learn about yourself during the circle?
That's a good question.
That is a really good question. Good. Kudos, Angel.
Right. I mean, I feel like the most I took out of the show was just that. I mean, that I can be comfortable alone. I think that was the scariest part going in there, knowing that, I wouldn't have any touch with the outside world. And I didn't know what I was going to do in my brain. I kind of went in there one person and I left another person. And my friends noticed that too. I was much more in tune with myself and, I'm still crazy, but not as wild. So, I guess I learned that I'm comfortable being alone, and that's really important. I feel like, especially, jumping around from, family to family to being on my own, I always felt like I needed someone there to latch onto, and I figured out that I don't need that.
You got your wings now.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Now, Jared says, would you ever do another reality show? If so, which one? Good question.
That's tough. I mean,
Would you
I
do
would
the
like to say
Jersey Shore?
no. I wouldn't embarrass myself like that. I do that enough every day.
It's
Bye.
t-shirt
Get
time.
out of here. I don't think I would. I mean, it would just depend on if something new came because nothing comes to mind. I mean, like I haven't really watched Survivor or anything like that, but I think that might be cool or, another game show, but no, nothing really comes to mind.
Survivor would be cool. You could show off all your tattoos.
Right. Need some more.
Are you going to get any more?
I kind of wanted to get one while I was out here, but I haven't really found a place. Right? I actually got one while I was out in the UK, and it was before filming, so I'm really surprised they let me do it, but it's behind my ears, so it's probably because it wouldn't show.
What'd you get? What is it?
It's a rose. It's just a cute little rose back here.
Cool.
I don't think you'll be able to see it, but yeah, I love it. And it didn't hurt at all. I was so surprised. I was like, oh, this is going to suck. It's like on my skull. No, naked and afraid. That should be my Instagram bio.
That's awesome. Well, Miranda, I wanted to thank you for coming on the podcast. I know you're on vacation for your birthday, so I wanted you to get back to your vacation. But I want, again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to come in on the podcast, answering some fan questions. It's really cool talking to you. So I'm wishing you nothing but the best.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Wait, I didn't ask, where are you from? What is your accent?
So I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, I hear the New York.
You hear the New York. Yes, Italian from Brooklyn. I was raised in Bensonhurst, which is a very big Italian neighborhood in Brooklyn. And now I'm in Florida. I made a move also. I've been in Florida in West Palm Beach for 19 years now. So, yeah. So that's
amazing.
And now we're doing a podcast.
Right?
Yeah.
A guy thing.
It's a guy thing. Girls are invited, of course, because that's a guy thing too.
Clearly. You need it.
You have to. It's a must. So if you're ever in Miami, reach out. I'd love to have a drink with you. Drinks are on me.
I'm going to hold you to it.
Deal. You got it.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Happy birthday. Enjoy your time, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, that's a wrap. We're doing a nice little quick one tonight with Miranda from The Circle. If you haven't seen the show, it's on Netflix. It's called The Circle. It's really cool. I mean, I really got into it. It's a reality show. I typically don't watch reality, but I got to tell you, it's a really cool show. Very interactive. You don't know what's going to happen next. The rules change. Like, it's crazy, but it's cool. This girl right here, Miranda, is just beautiful. She's a sweetheart. She was super nice on the show. And I got to tell you, just chatting with her behind the scenes, like leading up to this podcast, just super nice, super professional. Can't say anything bad about the girl. Great girl. Great girl. So I was happy to have her on. I got to fanboy out a little bit. I liked the show. I saw her on the show. So let's do it. Let's do a pod. Let's do a podcast. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in on this quick episode tonight. Again, do me a favor. Don't fuck around either, guys. Do not fuck around. I need you to subscribe. Subscribe. Do it, do it, do it, do it. I need you to do it. All right? And follow it, A Guy Think Podcast. Okay? You guys are the best. I love the fact that you tune in all the time and follow me and watch the podcast. Just share it. Just let people know, yo, check this guy out. He's got some interesting guests. And I want to get more guests on. So if you have anybody in mind, I will reach out to them. Every single guest that I have on the show, I reach out to personally, and I make this shit happen. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Again, shout out Hemp Boca. Check them out, hempboca.com for all your CBD oil needs. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much. Next episode is going to be the BKFC 11 prediction show. All the fighters are calling in. It's going to be sick. It's going to be hot. We got some new fighters that are on the card that have not been on the podcast before that will be on the podcast. Gonna be lit. Can't wait to do it. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. I love it. I'm a huge fan, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Guys, thank you. Tomorrow's Friday. Enjoy that shit. Weekend is here, baby. Take care.